Joel's on, Mary's on, Matt's here, I'm here. I think we're set.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call the Tuesday, September 19th, 2023 meeting of Moorhead Public Service Commission to order. Commissioner Mary Daly will be participating in this meeting via interactive television from 718 Mound Avenue, Mankato, Minnesota 56001, which location is open and accessible to the public during the meeting. Commissioner Joel Paulson will be participating in this meeting via interactive television from 2801 32nd Avenue North, Fargo, North Dakota 58102, which location is open and accessible to the public during the meeting. Moorhead Public Service Commission welcomes and encourages customer input on issues listed on the agenda of general water, electric, utility interest, time, and commission permitting. Speakers are limited to 3-minute presentations. Customers wishing to address the commission regarding a specific agenda item will be afforded an opportunity during the discussion of that item. Customers wishing to speak on matters not listed on the agenda will be given the opportunity to do so under the heading Customers to be Heard and/or Recognitions. Each person requesting the opportunity to speak is asked to fill out a request to speak form located in the back of the room and presented to the administrative assistant in attendance at the meeting. Any follow-up or feedback will be done by email on anything that cannot be resolved this evening. Item number 2, election of officers. With Sebastian McDougall's departure, we need to find a secretary. Who would like to throw their hat into the ring?
Thompson, I would. This is Commissioner Paulson.
Thank you, Commissioner Paulson. Anybody else? Okay, we have our slate consists of Mr. Paulson for secretary. Any discussion? All right, I'll entertain a vote here. Mr. Gilbertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Daly.
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson, yes. Commissioner Paulson.
Yes.
Great. Moving on then, that's, thank you, Mr. Paulson, for your willingness to serve. Item number 3, approve the agenda.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Item number 3, the agenda. I'd like to propose that we move items number 12, 13, and 15 to the consent agenda for this evening. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda, making those changes.
So moved, Gilbertson.
Second, Daly.
Paulson, second.
Okay, I have a motion by Gilbertson, seconded by Daly, to move items number 12, 13, 15 to consent agenda and approve the amended agenda. Discussion? Seeing none. Gilbertson?
Aye.
Paulson?
Aye.
Daly?
Yes.
Thompson? Yes. Okay, number 4, approve consent agenda. Remembering that items number 12, 13, and 15 are now on the consent agenda, I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by
Second.
Daly, seconded by Gilbertson, to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Okay, Gilbertson.
Aye.
Okay. No, it's okay. I thought, did I miss something? Paulson.
Aye.
Daly.
Yes.
Thompson, yes. I did ask for a motion, didn't I? Okay. I'm second guessing myself here. Item number 7, recognitions. I'd like to take this moment to recognize Sebastian McDougall. He's not here this evening, but I recognize his service. We appreciate all that he's done for the commission and wish him well on his new ventures and part of the city council. Anybody want to add anything to Okay, any other customers to be heard or recognitions? Yes.
You, hello? Okay. Yes, I have a couple of recognitions. Since our last meeting, we had a couple milestone anniversaries. Riley Burns, he's one of our linemen. He had his 5-year anniversary. And Cheryl Glasso had her 40-year anniversary with Moorhead Public Service.
How's that possible?
It's a good question.
Oh, my goodness.
So wanted to congratulate both of those on their milestone anniversaries. We do have a couple new faces in the meeting tonight. I've got Adam Benhart. Adam's been with us for 14 years, roughly. He was on our water crew. He was a dispatcher. Now he's our construction manager. He's in charge of the DOE substation project construction. So thank you for being here tonight, Adam. And then we also have Allison Skansgard. I got that right. Allison is replacing Jerry Borman. She's our new accountant, so she'll be working with Mark Moylanen on the accountant and finance side of things. Allison is a Moorhead resident. She is a graduate of NDSU, and she has her CPA, and she has worked in both the public and private sectors and not-for-profit. So we welcomed Allison on board. She started on the 11th of September.
Glad to have you on board. Nice to meet you, Adam. Okay, is there any old business? I don't see any old business. Okay, report, City Council. Mr. Gilbertson.
Yeah, I guess I can be partly to blame for bringing Sebastian onto the Moorhead City Council. We welcome him with open arms. We too had, I saw it was in the packet, City of Moorhead's substantial savings from the bond rating increase. Nice to see. And we did deny the liquor license for the Onyx Bar and Grill on 30th Avenue. So just kind of waiting to see if they appeal and what the next steps forward are.
Thank you for your update. Public Service Commission, anybody been to meetings that would like to report? Moving on to item C, General Manager's Report. Mr. Schmidt.
Sure. I'm going to have Mark Moylanen come up here. He's going to do a quick update on state of Minnesota assistance programs, and then I'll talk a little bit about waters of the United States.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Mark Moylanen, Finance Division Manager. As Travis indicated, I'm giving you an update today on Minnesota Assistance Program funding. The state of Minnesota has always provided funding for low-income energy, home energy, for electric usage used for heating to citizens who qualify or applicants who qualify, meeting certain criteria. As a result of COVID, they were also given some federal funds in 2021 to use for water funding to provide assistance to low-income households who needed assistance to pay their water bills. That funding was available in 2021, 2022 for that season, and then again it was available for 2022 and 23. However, there was never a guarantee that that program would continue beyond the first onset of funding. MPS was notified in late August after the last commission meeting that the funding for the water assistance program had been dispersed completely, there were no more funds available, and that the water program would not take place for the 23-24 program years. The LIHEAP program will still continue for 23 and 24, but the water program will no longer be as part of the assistance programs. MPS did receive about $800,000 in funding through that program on behalf of its citizens. So it was very helpful to help the citizens meet their utility bill needs. We were notified that they have started sending out applications to the 1,500 people who were qualified and approved for the program last year for the energy program, and they should have received most of them should have received their applications by now and are encouraged to get them in to West Central as soon as possible so they can be considered and approved for the upcoming program year. Citizens who are not pre-logged can also fill out applications for consideration. And the information can be found at the West Central Minnesota Communities Action website. And our staff has been instructing them and providing information to get the people who might be interested in the program sent to West Central. So that's my update for today, that the water program is ending, will not continue into the next program year, and heating is the only one that's available for 23 and 2024.
That's unfortunate.
It was. We knew that there was a potential. We thought it would actually run through the end of this year, which would end on September 30th, but they actually ran out of funding mid-August. They got a little bit more. We were able to meet a handful of applicants after that, but for the last 3 or 4 weeks, we have not received any additional funding for the water program. And then the heating program was shut down in July in advance of the upcoming season. So at this time, there really isn't funds available. But if the citizens or the applicants can get their applications on file and logged, we'll make accommodations for them until the funding becomes available in October.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Seeing none, I appreciate your time, Mark.
Thank you.
There's also another update in there on the waters of the United States. Mark Pritchard, who's unavailable tonight, provided an update on the Supreme Court decision that occurred in May. And really there was based on a lawsuit. There was really only 2 significant changes. That's the significant nexus. Don't ask me what that is, I don't know. Again, and adjacent waters in relation to navigable waters. And that's really what was looking at it. What does that, or how does that affect Moorhead Public Service at this time? Water surface, such as the Red River, where we get a majority of our water from, is considered navigable waters. So that has more restrictive definitions, which is solidified in the Supreme Court decision, and protections on that water supply. Where we are impacted a little bit more is the Buffalo Aquifer. And so we'll have to continue to work on that. We are looking at remember what the wording, significant nexus is, and trying to understand that definition a little bit more, and if it is or is not included in that, in those changes that was made but through the Supreme Court decision. So more to come on that. Mark is doing some research on it and trying to get a clear definition. One other quick item, this was not available for the packet. Last week on Friday, we received a letter from the DNR, drought warning response phase. And really what that means is that we have somewhat of a drought going on right now, and they're requesting us to be at January plus 50% levels. What that equates to is about 5.6 million gallons per day. And we're actually already hitting that threshold, or we're underneath that threshold. So we shouldn't have to worry about that. We are debating on whether or not to put out just a communication to conserve water where possible. We are getting into the latter part of the year where lawn irrigation isn't occurring as much. So hopefully maybe a little bit of rain this weekend that's expected. We won't have to worry too much about it. But if there are additional lengthy period of not having some of that, some precipitation show up, we might have to go to mandatory water restrictions. So just wanted to give you a quick update on that.
The update. Any questions for Travis? All right, I'd entertain a motion to accept the general manager's report.
So moved, Gilbertson.
Second, Daley.
I have a motion by Gilbertson, seconded by Daley, to accept the general manager's report. Gilbertson?
Aye.
Paulson?
Aye.
Daley?
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Thank you for your report, and we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is number 16, approved sponsorship request from Moorhead Business Association for annual banquet.
Yep, so I thought that this would be a good one to have off consent. This is something we've sponsored in the past, but not under the current program that we've got, and with that, it requires approval by the commission. I've touched base with Flaherty and Hood to confirm that this is a sponsorable event. It meets all the criteria, which it does, and wanted to provide that to the commission for approval. There is an again, they're requesting $2,500. Until the commission approves or does not approve this, we have not reached out to Missouri River Energy Services. They also provide membership sponsorship as well, so we could do a 50-50 cost share in this of $2,500 or more if that is preferred. But we're requesting up to $2,500 for the Moorhead Business Association annual banquet, and maybe additional costs would be shared with MRES or additional funding for the banquet overall. So giving you all the information, again, per policy, the commission has to approve this if it's approved by the general manager.
So if I'm getting this right, we can approve any amount, essentially. I mean, that's what,
Yep. Yeah, we have, overall, we have about, there's a $50,000 between sponsorship and marketing that we can spend on an annual basis. That's the limit based on the state of Minnesota. We haven't spent a whole lot of money yet this year, so the request for $2,500 is reasonable,
break the bank.
break the bank, and it's, again, it's commission approval.
Sure, right. Anybody want to weigh in on this?
Question for Travis. You mentioned possible other costs or fees in addition to the 2,500. What are we looking at there?
It would be some, marketing or stuff. Day Without Water is one of them. Public Power Week, we've got some items we'll be handing out in the next couple weeks. Right, Sue? Yes. Sue, was there anything else that you've had for marketing or sponsorship? Oh, we've done the new customer bags as well, too. So those would be about the items that we've done. I don't know if you've got a total.
Okay. Do you have a ballpark figure as far as additional costs?
That we've spent so far this year, Mary?
That could be a possibility tied with the MBA banquet.
The only other thing we would have would be our membership that we would have with the MBA.
Okay.
No other funds have been expended, and we haven't approved any other sponsorship requests or received any additional ones.
Okay. And what is the cost of an MBA membership?
I think it's like $300 or $350, I think is what we paid. I actually just saw the bill the other day.
Okay, that's reasonable. Thank you.
That 2,500, is that, we gonna pay half of that, or are we gonna do the 2,500, and then if we want higher sponsorship, then you ask?
This
Mary
is, so this is the top sponsorship. So I think we are the presenting sponsor for it. The request was from the MBA was 2,500, but we have not requested any funds from Missouri River. So you could spend $1,250 and MRES could spend $1,250, or we could fully fund it for $2,500 if we don't get any money from MRES. They do give up to $4,000, and we have not spent any of those funds this year.
I'd say do the 2,500 and ask them for 1,250. Who's gonna use the 8 tickets?
Send those to the commissioners. Usually in the past, we've had commissioners go and some staff if there was availability.
I'll be there anyways. Give it to the staff.
Perfect.
Okay, so I
Is that a
entertain,
motion?
I need a motion, yes, with the dollar amount in it, please.
I move to spend
I
up to
would-
2,500, ask 1,250.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion by Gilbertson, seconded by Paulson, to approve the sponsorship request for up to $2,500 for the Moorhead Business Association for the annual banquet. Discussion. Seeing none. Gilbertson.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Thompson. Aye. Daley.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Question.
Got a
Chair.
question?
If MRES wants to give 2,500, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Clear direction.
Perfect.
Buy 8 more tickets.
All right, let me sort through my stuff here, because now it becomes a little less clear what I'm doing. Okay. Item number 17, closed meeting for executive session, which we need today. All right, this portion of the meeting will be closed to, pursuant to Minnesota statute, section 13D.05 subdivision 3A, because the MPS Commission will be evaluating the performance of an individual subject to MPS's authority, Travis Schmidt, General Manager. I will now entertain a motion to close this portion of the meeting.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Gilbertson, seconded by Daley, to close the meeting. Gilbertson,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Daley, 4:52, and the MPS Commission will now go into closed session. Only the MPS Commission and designated officials may initially attend the closed session. Mr. Schmidt, we will proceed initially in closed session without you in attendance at this point. So please inform us where you will be. Then we will get you for the portion of the meeting you can attend, which MPS Commission will decide. Thank you. Further action is not expected in open session, therefore we will adjourn upon conclusion of executive session. Okay, we'll now be moving over to the room. Okay. They know where we're going, so we'll follow along.
Commissioners online, you'll have to go on to the other WebEx that was provided to you.